Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is Zach with IT Career Questions. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Today I want to talk to you about your data, which should be important to you. I know my data is pretty important to me, and as we talk about this, you're going to really question many things. And if you don't start questioning many things, let's start doing that right now. If you haven't already watched The Great Hack on Netflix, I strongly encourage you to watch this. This is a real eye-opener for a lot of people out there. If you are unaware of what The Great Hack is about, it is about a few different companies. One of those companies being Facebook, and the other one, Cambridge Analytica. You may have heard of Facebook, I'm sure you have. You may have heard of Cambridge Analytica. What happened here is that they were essentially mining data on us, right? They were capturing all of this data and using that against us, using that not only for political advertisements, but just for targeting you in general. And that really kind of opened up many other areas in which your data is being captured. Your data is being collected. You'll see in The Great Hack, they have, thousands of different data points on people. And that's scary. But for me, I've already kind of had a feeling that this has been going on for years. And I remember maybe 10 years ago or so, logging into Gmail and receiving targeted advertisements to things that I had just recently searched for. And that initially got me spiraled down. What are they doing? Are they really monitoring what I'm searching for? Are they really advertising towards the thing that I just looked up? And yes, that is the case. And from that point on, I think I was very suspicious of everything. But once I watched The Great Hack, it even opened up my eyes a little bit on how far data can actually manipulate you, your thoughts, your actions, and it's insane. This leads us to another thing that I want to talk to you about, which is with Google. You may have heard recently about Google recording your conversations and saving all this data on you as well. And this is something that was led through the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation Act. What happened was about a year ago or so, Google said, hey, we've been saving all of this data on you and you can access it. Well, for whatever reason, recently it's become a big hubbub, right? People are talking about it and wondering why and how and what the heck is going on. Well, you can go to takeout.google.com and log in with your Google account, and you can look and see all of the data that they have saved on you, which for me, another eye-opener, but not surprised. And I went through a few of the archives so far. There's 50 archives, 2 gigs apiece. That's a lot of data. That's an insane amount of data on me that Google has captured. Now, went through a couple pictures. I went through a couple of the different location services information. And then I got to MP3s. And I was curious about this. I started playing these MP3s. The recordings that I listened to, some are random. Some are me talking to the Google Assistant on my phone. Some are me using my car Bluetooth to make a phone call. One, which really, it amused me. It made me laugh. I just couldn't believe it, right? And this is where I stopped. And this is the audio file that I played that just made me laugh and stop.
Dude, that pissed me off.
Yep. Random, right? Just completely random. I have no idea what I was pissed off about, but apparently I was pissed off. And another file that I think really, even beforehand, that made me kind of really stop, really kind of start to wind down this process here was a conversation with myself and my significant other. Nothing crazy was being said, but why was that recorded? Why is this information recorded? And Google has many reasons for this, and I'm sure that I have clicked away all of my privacy rights within a Google application, so it doesn't even matter, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at. And this leads me to, is my data being stolen, or did I actually agree to let you capture this data and I unwillingly clicked that submit box and agreed to let you do this? And it's that latter. I mean, I'm sure at some point I've agreed for Google, for Facebook, any other service to allow them to capture some type of data about me. Now, the thing is with like Cambridge Analytica and Facebook, uh, everybody was kind of under the assumption that your data wasn't being sold or used in a necessarily malicious way. And it turns out that was not the case, because our election was very much swayed by the manipulation that Cambridge Analytica was able to accomplish with other agencies and producing, just kind of fake news and things like that. But, and that's crazy in its own right, right? We're being manipulated from our own data. We're being manipulated on social media. And still, at the end of the day, like, our data, that's our data, like our data. And I am one that I understand what is happening. I understand the risks, the do's, the don'ts, the why this is good, why this is bad. And ultimately, at this point, we're screwed, because they have so much data built upon us already, even data that from other people, right? They have data that links us to everybody that we know. And that, and the audio capturing and saving the pictures and, saving our location from place to place. How do you make that stop? How do you end that? Now, you would think laws, regulations, and things like that would ultimately help stop this. However, all your data are belong to Google, Facebook, NSA, the government. Who knows who else has our data? And the reason why, in my opinion, that this just doesn't stop and people are completely careless for this is because, well, few reasons. Convenience is one of them. Now, you can stop them from collecting data on you from here on out. There are ways that you can delete some of this data, get some of it deleted. It's kind of difficult from what I understand. But the only way to get this to completely stop is giving up a convenience. It's giving up your smartphones, your smart devices. It's getting off of the internet. Because at this point, everything that you do is somehow being monitored, being captured, and you can't stop that unless you stop using the technologies, devices, and resources that allow these companies to do that. Now, I'm not trying to be a tinfoil hat wearer or anything here. I'm not personally going to stop doing this. I understand that my data is being used, okay? That's fine. I prefer the convenience. And many people out there prefer the convenience. And that's why, and one reason, it will never end. It will never stop, because you guys will never disconnect. Nobody's going to disconnect at this point in this timeline, because the convenience of having the world at your fingertips is a hard thing to sacrifice when it's just a little data that they're capturing on you, right? And the next reason why this isn't going to stop, furthering onto what we just mentioned, is that the current wars that we're having, it's not necessarily a war with guns and violence and that type of war. There's a war on data. And you see this every single day. You see different companies being hacked and data being exfiltrated throughout these organizations. And people are being blackmailed for this data. They're selling this other data. They're utilizing this data to create profiles on us, to create different variables in which they can manipulate us, sell us things, ultimately just have a greater understanding of who we are, what we're doing, right? The war on data is a big deal. Like, this is not going to stop. You have nations hacking each other, trying to obtain information. And there's so much of this happening on a day-to-day basis. There's so much of the hacking back and forth, the data capturing. We are at a constant battle with everybody. I mean, we as individuals are essentially at a constant battle with people we don't even know, like companies that we don't even know. And we don't even know why we're in battle with these people, but we are, because at the end of the day, like, we are the people who are affected by this. We are the people who suffer from these companies capturing our data, using it against us, and things like that. But again, at the end of the day, are you going to stop? No, you're not. Nobody's going to stop. Like, it's just an ongoing battle that has no end in sight, as far as I can see. You could potentially see these companies being fined millions, billions of dollars. However, these are companies that are making billions of dollars every single year from your data. So a small fine of a couple $billion for a company like Facebook is nothing in comparison to the hundreds of billions of dollars that they could be potentially making. And what do? How do you stop that? It's like many other laws and restrictions. There's always a way to bypass that. There's always a way to get around it. And it's just this ongoing thing. So if you don't like it, if you want to get away from it, disconnect your router. Throw away your smartphone. Don't go on the internet at all. Period. And let me know how that works out for you. The point of this video is to create something different, create something new, talk about what's currently going on. And I feel like it's a really big issue to be talking about, to understand how your data, everybody's data, is being used. I encourage you guys to watch The Great Hack on Netflix. It's a great documentary. It'll really open your eyes up even more to maybe what I have today. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, leave a comment below and I'll do whatever I can. That's it for today's video. As always, take it easy.